In my hometown, there exists a peculiar emporium known as Hexworks, a haven for oddities that I often frequent. It's a vintage-style boutique, steeped in old-world charm, but with a contemporary twist. Their wares range from cloaks and pocket watches to light bulbs, eccentric art prints, opulent jewelry, and Victorian home decor, among other curiosities. It's a haven for those interested in assembling a steampunk ensemble. Hexworks undoubtedly tops my list of favorite window shopping spots, yet I seldom depart with a purchase. The prices, while justified, tend to be steep, and despite my admiration for their offerings, I can't justify the expense. If only I were a regular convention attendee or financially secure enough to indulge in such luxuries. Alas, I am neither. Instead, I bask in the shop's serene ambience and eagerly promote it whenever the opportunity arises. A symbiotic relationship, to be sure. However, one fateful day heralded the arrival of a new addition to Hexworks, an item that sparked my enthusiasm like never before. There it stood, positioned on an easel behind the storefront window. A grand, bespoke Ouija board. Its craftsmanship was exquisite, its design mesmerizing. I felt compelled to learn more about its origins and, of course, its price. Driven by curiosity, I ventured into the shop, approached the proprietor, and inquired about the board's provenance. He revealed that it was a recent acquisition, gifted to the shop by an acquaintance who had inherited it from a family member. This heirloom, steeped in history, had traversed generations, yet its current possessor, unnerved by its mystical allure, opted to part ways with it, donating it to Hexworks. As discussions ensued, my desire to possess the board intensified. Though never one to dabble in the occult or the supernatural, its allure proved irresistible. I envisioned it as a captivating conversation piece, a treasure to proudly display among my peers. Yet the obstacle remained. The owner sought $500 for the artifact. After negotiating terms with the proprietor, we reached a compromise. He agreed to reserve the Ouija board for me, allowing me to make weekly payments until the debt was settled. In a gesture of goodwill, he extended a modest friends and family discount, bringing the total to $432. While still a substantial investment, I appreciated his flexibility and gladly accepted the arrangement. After enduring a strenuous 9-week wait, I finally possessed my very own mystic board. Encased within a finely crafted wooden chest, the word Ouija intricately etched upon it, alongside what appeared to be the year of its creation, 1913. Upon unveiling it in the comfort of my home, I discovered several accompanying items. Nestled within the chest, alongside the board, lay an ivory planchette, an empty picture frame, and a weathered pamphlet labeled User Manual. Its pages contained elaborate diagrams and explanations detailing the board's usage, culminating in the simple directive: place your hands on the planchette and await its movement. Yet what piqued my curiosity was a section nestled towards the pamphlet's rear, bearing the title Cheat Sheet. The contents unfolded thus: desiring a simpler conduit to commune with departed loved ones. Worry not. Behold the Ouija board cheat sheet. This user-friendly manual offers a streamlined approach to reconnecting with those who have transcended. Merely adhere to the following steps. 1. Position the included frame upright in front of the board. 2. Select one of the 29 character sequences provided and place the planchette over the corresponding letters and numbers. The 4 question marks at each end represent the birth and passing years of your chosen individual. 3. Envision the person vividly in your mind's eye as you guide the planchette across the board. If executed correctly, a fleeting visage of your beloved should manifest within the frame. This craft isn't an exact science, and outcomes may fluctuate. Each sequence of characters behaves uniquely, influenced by the individual, the time of day, and the proximity to the ethereal domain. If one combination fails, don't fret. There's always another avenue to explore. It's essential to note that this serves as a one-way conduit. Your loved ones cannot respond once their image materializes. Any attempt at communication will meet with silence. Enjoy the experience. A wry grin tugged at my lips as I pondered the attempt at levity by the board's creator. Somewhat distasteful, perhaps, but undeniably amusing. The notion of inputting a code into a Ouija board and receiving a spectral snapshot from the beyond bordered on the absurd. Yet something about the Ouija board's cheat sheet nagged at me. Was the inclusion of the picture frame solely for the sake of the joke? Shouldn't the manual have provided further clarification? And to whom was this jest directed? This board, a unique creation, likely commissioned by its original owner, was such a meticulously crafted piece intended merely as a prank. With a bemused sigh, I arranged the setup, frame, and all. Whether out of idle curiosity or a desire to debunk the supposed cheat sheet, I resolved to follow the instructions meticulously. Cracking open a beer, I selected a character sequence and recollected the birth and demise dates of my cherished family companion. Scratches. All dogs find solace in the celestial realms, don't they? Placing the planchette over the designated characters, I peered expectantly at the frame. To my surprise, a milky haze materialized behind the glass. No distinct image, just wisps of fog swirling akin to dust stirred from an ancient tongue. Repeating the process, the phenomenon occurred again and again, each repetition amplifying the ethereal presence. Numerous conjectures swirled within my mind, most dissolving into the recesses of my consciousness. However, one persisted, resurfacing with relentless persistence. It seemed absurd, yet the notion that the cheat sheet held legitimacy persisted. Ludicrous, I know, but the prospect of owning a genuinely supernatural artifact was tantalizing. Even if a rational explanation existed for the phenomena, I relished the notion of exploring the board further. Thus, I embarked on a quest. Dialing up my parents, I gathered the vital statistics of various departed relatives. I spun a tale of delving into my ancestry, a veiled deception masking my true intent to probe the arcane. Equipped with the necessary information, I resumed my position before the board. Fueled by a few more libations, my dexterity faltered. Consequently, I botched the initial sequence. Employing the birth and demise years of my great-aunt Linda, I inadvertently mispositioned the planchette, resting it upon the O in the Ouija insignia at the board's summit. What followed next was nothing short of astonishing. I acknowledged my blunder and anticipated the picture frame to remain inert. Yet, to my amazement, a vivid image materialized behind the glass. What unfolded before me was the silhouette of a structure stitched against a white, misty canvas. Swiftly as it appeared, the vision dissipated, leaving me utterly perplexed. What exactly had I witnessed? A celestial edifice? Did demolished buildings transition to the afterlife? Or was the realm beyond fashioned in an industrial manner akin to our earthly abode? Captivated by the prospect of glimpsing into the inner workings of the heavenly realm, I continued my experimentation. I improvised sequences with arbitrary years, past, present, and future, concocting my own codes. There was no method to my madness. I punched in random combinations merely to uncover what lay beyond. Yet my efforts yielded meager results. Only a handful of my codes yielded any response, and the ensuing images were too indistinct to discern any coherent features. Undeterred by my largely unsuccessful attempts, I persisted. Sequence after sequence, I maneuvered the planchette across the wooden surface. Fatigue crept upon me, yet my inquisitiveness outweighed my heavy eyelids. In the small hours of the morning, my perseverance paid off. One of my improvised codes proved fruitful, offering me a glimpse into the realm beyond. As clear as daylight, I beheld a bustling thoroughfare, teeming with what I presumed were souls of the departed. Amidst the populace, there were vehicles, structures, and road signs of a design hitherto unseen. It bore semblance to earthly landscapes, yet bore marked distinctions. Enveloped by a luminous glow and ethereal mist, the scenery exuded an aura of serenity, for lack of a more apt description. Honestly, it was an experience I eagerly anticipated partaking in, albeit in the distant future. Satisfied with my initial discovery, I felt compelled to delve deeper. Employing variations of the same sequence, I persisted. To my sheer delight, a succession of vivid images from the afterlife unfolded before me, each possessing remarkable clarity, revealing even the most intricate of details. Among the sights that captivated me were towering skyscrapers, surpassing their earthly counterparts in height, transparent bridges linking different sectors of the celestial realm, bioluminescent flora and fauna scattered throughout, with a notable discovery of a vast forest, glittering water bodies adorning every corner, peculiar atmospheric phenomena, where ever-changing clouds exhibited a kaleidoscope of hues. With each new sequence, I unearthed novel and enigmatic vistas on the other side, akin to an intrepid explorer charting uncharted territories. This had become my preferred pastime, albeit one destined for an abrupt halt. Seeking to deepen my exploration, I armed myself with a camera, pencil, and paper, intending to document my discoveries and mark points of interest. I envisioned crafting a celestial cartography, a challenging endeavor that promised immense satisfaction. By this juncture, the clock struck 8 in the morning, marking 9 consecutive hours of relentless pursuit. Fatigue weighed heavily upon me, prompting the need for respite and a brief repose. However, before succumbing to slumber, I resolved to attempt one final sequence. Formulating another variant of the jackpot code, I initiated the Ouija board once more. With anticipation mounting, I watched as familiar particles coalesced, shaping yet another heavenly panorama. The suspense was palpable, akin to that of an addict awaiting the euphoric rush. Perhaps I had become somewhat fixated, yet I found solace in the harmless nature of my pursuit, or so I believed. In the midst of anticipation, an unforeseen occurrence unfolded. The image fragments whirled at dizzying speed, unveiling a void of darkness. Gradually, stark white letters emerged, conveying a stark and unequivocal message. Stop. Baffled, I attempted numerous sequences, yet each time, I was met with the same stark command. Even resorting to previously effective codes yielded no results. For a full hour, I persisted, beseeching the board to rekindle its mystical essence. Finally, one code yielded a response, albeit not in the manner I had envisioned. Upon activation, old visions materialized, reversing like scenes on a cinematic reel. Yet, a disquieting anomaly emerged within each frame. Initially distant, it steadily advanced to the forefront. A shadowy apparition, devoid of visage, resembling a suspended cloak. In a swift turn, the scenes morphed, transitioning from the celestial realm to earthly domains. I witnessed vignettes of my kin and comrades, the ominous figure looming ominously behind them. Powerless, I observed its inexorable approach, inching ever closer to contact. Fear gripped me. Before the specter could ensnare my loved ones, the spectral slideshow halted. Momentarily, the frame lay vacant, devoid of the prior horrors. Yet respite proved fleeting. Within seconds, a final image materialized. It depicted me, seated before the Ouija board, mirroring my present state. Yet, looming directly behind was the shrouded entity, its icy appendage grazing the nape of my neck. A shiver coursed through me as its frigid touch caressed my flesh. Breaking free from stupor, I bolted for the exit, abandoning my abode, drained and terror-stricken, not returning until dawn. In retrospect, I speculate that my curiosity had irked some celestial guardian, intruding upon sacred domains and violating divine ordinances. The forbidden sights I had witnessed, the unwarranted intrusion, likely transgressed cosmic laws. Though I've since rid myself of the accursed board, the ordeal lingers, a constant specter haunting my every step. Vigilant, I keep watch over my kin, wary of unseen threats. Despite my continued existence, an unsettling sensation persists, akin to teetering on the precipice of demise. Just yesterday, I narrowly avoided a collision with oncoming traffic, and this morning, an unnerving tremor rattled the elevator at my workplace, hinting at imminent catastrophe. Whether born of paranoia or the lingering trauma of my encounter, caution shall henceforth be my guiding principle. The moral, one learns, is clear. Tampering with Ouija boards invites perilous consequences.